All right, we are live. Brad, what's up? Members only meetup. What's up, 360 electricians? Coming in from all parts of the United States of America. Hopefully we'll start populating. This is what always happens. We come in. I start late. My live stream always gets messed up. Let me type in here. I always mess up and type in. Good to see you, man. How are you? Can you hear me, Brad? Uh-oh. He probably got muted. Can you hear me? Nope. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Oh, there you go. All right. Finally,
Sorry
technical difficulty isn't on my side.
All done.
What's up? I heard you guys got a pretty cold spell out in Texas this week.
Yeah, went all the way to 50.
That's it?
No, I dipped down. It was freezing for a couple of nights.
Okay. All right.
All the natives went crazy, but it was all right for me. It was still a warm spell.
We are. Let me see how much it is. Alexa, Alexa, what's the temperature? Right now, it's 0 degrees Fahrenheit. So you should be happy.
So I take it you're not in LA.
I am not in LA. I am not in LA. Hey, welcome everybody to the channel. Sorry about that. Brad, good to see you as usual. Thanks for the invite. Oh, we got Zach over here. Let's get Zach into the stream. Zach, what's up, my friend?
How's it going?
Good, brother. You're a little cut off as Brad just cut out. I did not cut you out, Brad. Welcome. If you guys are just joining on the stream, this is the live members only meetup. Zach, I don't think we've ever met before.
No.
Hey, good to see you, my friend.
Here's my, let me see if it's working.
I got to constantly keep my eye on the screen, which is here. The camera is here. So if I keep looking there, you guys know why. There we go.
There, I was trying to hook it up.
Man, it almost looks sunny where you are. Where are you coming in from, Zach?
Hawaii.
Hawaii? What the heck?
Yeah.
So it is sunny.
Yeah.
Brad, Zach's coming in from Hawaii. Can you believe that?
Sweet. I was stationed on Oahu in the Army.
Very nice.
Okay.
It's nice.
Well, Zach, we've never met before. You know what? This live meetup kind of gets going after about 10 minutes once we're in. First 10 minutes is always technical difficulties on my end. I was just telling Brad, I don't know if you saw it. I'm in Montana. I just asked Alexa. She says it's 0 degrees. Brad just had a cold spell in Texas. What's the weather like in Hawaii, my friend?
Yeah, it's always 80.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. I'm a little jealous seeing the t-shirt.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about you. Electrician, electrical contractor. I think this is the first time we met.
Yeah, so I am I'm an electrician, but it's kind of interesting because I originally moved from South Dakota, and basically I already got my electrical contractors in South Dakota, but in Hawaii it doesn't resonate. Like, it's totally new. So now I'm in the process of doing that. I started my I started my business, and I've been doing it since May.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
sorry. So did you get licensed in Hawaii or not yet?
Yeah. I have my journeyman, and then so there's loopholes kind of around it because in South Dakota it just goes like you're a journeyman, then you're a contractor. In Hawaii, basically you could get your contractors and never have your journeyman. But then so to do the work, you have to have your journeyman.
Okay.
So you can so it's just a little bit different. So now I'm in the process of, I hired somebody with their license,
right,
so I can pull permits but I have my journeyman so I can do the work.
Very cool.
It's just,
I get it.
Yeah.
So yeah, every state's a little bit different. I honestly have never coached anybody from Hawaii. It's funny. I got like 10 people from Canada. I've got, I think I got somebody from Puerto Rico or somewhere down south, which was really weird because, I got to be careful who I'm coaching if I'm not going to give them value. Hawaii, I've never done. So I don't even know what the licensing is, to be honest with you, over there. Yeah. And that's interesting. Every state seems to be different. Montana's a little bit different than California. I'm sure Texas, Brad, a little bit different than that.
Yeah, Texas was actually tough. I was licensed in Massachusetts and New Hampshire before I moved down here, and
no reciprocity.
No, definitely not. Well, I could have gone to like New York State and then Michigan and then down. No, it would have taken too long. But the journeyman's test was easy down here, or easier than I was used to in Mass. But the master's down here, it took me 3 tries. It was gross. Brutal. But then you just pay another $100 and sign over for the contractor's license. So that wasn't that bad. But yeah, master's was rough down here.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I actually just sent in So, I keep telling everybody that I got so California is a little bit different. There's an apprentice card and a journeyman card. Journeyman has 4 years of experience. I think it's super low, but it's California. They do everything backwards, right? They tax you. They tax the wrong way, but everything else they regulate the wrong way. This one, they don't regulate the right way. The reason I say this is because everybody and their mother comes to me with a journeyman card, right? After 4 years, because it's an open book code test. Anybody can do it that knows the code book, but they've never lifted a screwdriver in their hand. And I learned early on hiring that I'm like, journeyman card means nothing to me. I mean, it's really about, okay, you're a journeyman. Here's the test. I literally will give them the parts. I'll give them the equipment. I'll give them the paperwork. Basic 101, 102, 103 electrical. And if they get to 103, I know that they're journeyman. But half the people that show up, I know right away, journeyman, yeah, right. And so over there, you get your journeyman card, but you don't even have to get your journeyman card. 4 years of experience in the trade, you can get your contractor's license. Is it a hard test? Not really. The law test, which we have 2 tests. So no matter what, when you become a contractor, you have to take the law test. 90% of the people, I think, most likely would fail the law portion because they know, even though it's not an open book test on the licensing, it's probably easier if you have the experience. It's the law that everybody's like flipped out about, which to me was kind of the opposite. I felt like I failed the license test, but I said, if I didn't get 100%, I got 99% on the law part, but that's just how I operate, So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Hawaii's very similar. So because it's like you're saying, the law, it's a C13, it's called. So it's like I think it's 50% law and then 50%.
There you go. Exactly the same.
Yeah. So
yeah. So you're planning on take that, or what's the requirement for you to take it?
So the biggest issue, I have all the experience except for they have a chronological order of every job you've ever been on in the last 4 years, and they're kind of, they don't describe what you need to put on there. Mm-hmm. And so Hawaii, so then they'll say, hey, we need more detail in this, and then they only review applications every month. So but then once you submit it, then you have to wait another month. So like if you applied for a application right now today, it would take you about 90 days until it even goes to the board. And then after it's reviewed, they don't give you your license number for another 30 days.
Wow.
So you're looking at 7-8 months just to get it. So they move really slow.
Yeah. So what made you go there? A family?
So I had family, and the biggest thing for me is I just don't like the cold weather.
Okay.
And I just wanted to get out of there.
A born California native, Vegas, for 8 years, and then boom, Montana. Yeah. People are like, you're going to hate it. You're not going to love it. Man, I love it. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not working in it every day. I will be honest with you. Yeah. But dude, if you saw what's outside my windows right now, when the weather comes, who cares? I mean, it's second best to the Pacific Ocean, to be honest with you. The mountain.
Montana's beautiful. Yeah,
it is. And so when summer's here, hands down, I've been in Hawaii in the summer. It was kind of funny because when I went to Hawaii on my honeymoon, I went outside and I'm like, I don't feel weather. It's so perfect. No humidity, no dryness. It's like, it was the weirdest feeling I ever had. Over here, you got some weather. So it's pretty funny. Well, awesome. Let's see who's in here. Throw in those comments. Lewis, good to see you, my friend. Journeyman ET, electrician trainee, and actual apprentices from a state or federal program. He was talking about California's 3 different statutes. Not sure. I'm from California, Louise. Hey, Louise, why aren't you in here? You're a member. I know you were in here last week or the week before. Good to see you. Michael, what's up? Aloha, Sparky. Are you in Hawaii as well? Where are you coming in from, Michael? Let me know. I'm always going to be answering questions. And then, when we get a chance, Zach, Brad, always, if we can answer questions for these guys, that's what this channel is all about. So, dude, what a day today. Today was a pretty crappy day for me. I'm going to tell you, crappier than it's been for a long time. So I'm trying to move into the house where the studio is. It's above the garage on the house I'm building here. We built an 800 square foot studio. The well guy came today and my well's leaking and the ground's frozen. So you can't dig it out for another, I don't know how many months. And we're planning on moving in here within the next 30 days. So I'm like, that's crappy. I get a call from LA, couple of projects, big projects, kind of going south. I got a really good one for you guys. So I got a contractor like today. We're doing an 8-unit luxury apartment complex in West Hollywood. great client of mine, but you know what? There was a change. The plans didn't match up to anything that's on site. Like 50% of everything we're putting in, like the walls don't even line up. So when we go to the parking lot where the main panel is, up to the next floor, like things weren't lining up. It was really messed up. Architect even said it's messed up. Engineer said it's messed up. So we did things like 20 different things installed, after we talked to engineers, got reapprovals, right? Then we put these conduits in and they tell me that, no, you did it wrong because it was on the plans how you were supposed to do it. But I go, but we didn't even look at the plans anymore. We asked the engineer and the architect and they said, yeah, you can do it. We did it. We passed inspection on rough. They come back to us like 3 days before concrete's poured and said, you got to change it all. So I'm like, okay, that's a big change order. Let your rebar guys go under us. Like they can do that. It's a little bit more work for them, but it's a lot more work for us. And it's a big change order. Anyway, bottom line, they made us do it. So now I send them the change order and they come back to me and they say, well, it shouldn't be a change order. It was on the plans. You guys missed it. And I'm like, okay, then if that was on the plans and I missed it, I've got 17 items that were on the plans that weren't correct and I had to change them. So those will be your change orders. So again, but just a crappy day, right? You have to deal with that stuff. I don't know if you guys have had any experience this week, but obviously guys that are watching on the channel, going to watch that replay. Anything happened to you guys this week, last week that are just crappy? That the advice to me was, the win for me was that I had that rebuttal. You always have to have something, right? We didn't get it in writing fast enough. It was 3 days. I usually will have it in writing. Hey, this is a change order for 5,000. Sign it or I don't touch it. I couldn't do that. It was just so much pressure there. And again, I'm in Montana. That job's in LA. And so, but I had the rebuttal. The rebuttal was, wait a minute. Okay, you had us change 10 other things that were on the plans, but now they're not. So there are those change orders. And so I won the argument at the end of the day. But anyway, any advice? And Brad, I got to talk to you about generators, by the way.
I'm always down to talk about generators.
Anything happen? And Zach, have you had that situation? I want to talk a lot about you, Jack, because I'm super interested about Hawaii. I don't think any of our viewers have heard anything about Hawaii. But any kind of advice, anything you guys ran into this week, anything like that you guys can share?
I won a $50,000 lighting design bid that we put in for an HOA.
Nice.
So I'm working with a middleman. He's kind of like the lighting design guy. So he got the contact and he told me what everything's going to be. We went out and walked the property. I got materials together. We did a pretty solid bid. And I found 2 line items that, how you put in like the amount and then you're supposed to make your quantity.
Yeah.
So I did my wire runs, but I didn't multiply out for all the runs. So I missed like 3,000 feet of wire. And I'm like,
oh man,
what size? It's going to be a kicker. It's going to be number 10.
Oh, that hurts.
So good news is we were able to we kind of repositioned where all the lights are going to be. So it's not going to be as big of a hit, but
right.
The only saving grace was I put a pretty good profit margin in there. So I got a little bit of buffer, but yeah, other than that, I'm like, are we going back to the HOA? He's like, that's a 2-week approval. We're not doing that. And he's like, I'll just eat it on my end. I'm like, well, it's kind of on my end too. But other than that, it was one of the bigger jobs that we've ever won. So it was pretty good.
That's awesome.
We were pretty excited, but yeah, missing out on those bits. It's just one button on the damn computer. And I'm like,
absolutely.
Would have had it.
Absolutely. I agree. I've got a kind of similar situation. So what kind of work are you doing there, Zach? What's the island look like? Which island are you on?
I'm on Maui.
Okay. Pretty busy. I mean, is it booming? I mean, I don't know. We're booming in Texas, Montana. Everyone's leaving California and New York. I figured, what's up with Hawaii? Is it like everywhere else right now?
Yeah, I know it is busy. I'm just starting off, so right now I'm just trying to get my foot in the door and I accept any work.
Okay.
Do a lot of service work and stuff. Like I got service work for U-Haul. That's one of my bigger customers.
Nice.
And then
nice.
My avatar is like because there's a lot of wealthy people here, so I try to target and get business with them. And so just doing service work, no large projects. But as far as development, it gets pretty political here with that, just because of the land. So
obviously,
but yeah,
so
but
that's cool.
A lot of it, a lot of it is hotels and based in tourism. So like if you get hotels.
Is it saturated? Here, it's like I see an electrical van every 5 minutes. Of course, we're a small area and the highway is just one highway to go down the Bitterroot. But even in LA, there's probably 10,000 more electricians, but you're just so big and spread out. Here, it's like everybody's a freaking electrician, electrical contractor. How is it there? How do you think the competition is? How do you think
No, I don't. I think there's a lot of, it's not saturated really here. It's like if you go, like what I'm basing that also off of is like, Google reviews. You see a lot of electrical contractors and they have like 1,000 reviews.
right?
I think
Like 20.
the number one here has like 80 5-star reviews.
Okay. All right.
So I mean and then the population is only 200,000. So you have to, so.
Well, you got 100,000 more than my area, so I don't want to hear any complaints.
Oh, really? There you go. No, I'm not. No, I'm just saying.
I know. I'm just kidding. But you know what's funny? Zach is the other day, and I say it 100 times. So my brick and mortar, which is in California, I've been around for 16 years in California. You know how many 5-star? You know how many star ratings I have? They're all 5-star, thank God. Unless somebody hates me on this channel and decides to give me in one. You know how many 5-star ratings I have in 16 years on Google?
10. 5. Oh,
yeah. Can you believe it? I can't believe it because you know what? I mean, I'm Brad, get ready. You know what I'm going to say, right, Brad? My marketing course, right? So I took marketing into my own hands like 4 years into my contracting business. I never paid for Yelp. I've never paid for Angie's. I've never paid for referral service. I'm on Google Maps because it's free. I'm on Yelp, like I said, I'm an idiot, but it's free to get on, but I don't pay. And so it's funny because I don't base my business ever on stars. I don't want to kiss rear ends. My guys make mistakes. I make mistakes. We've gotten to the point, and I know, Brad knows, even for you, maybe it's like, dude, you just can't go for $99 and change out switches anymore. You just can't do it. You're going to be $299 to step into anybody's house these days. And so people will get $299 because the guy on Yelp, they email 4 people, they spread it out, and some sucker. So if you're that sucker on my channel, stop being that sucker. I said it the other day. If your employees are driving nicer cars than you, it's because you gave away your money as a discount or a break to the clients, right? You only charge $99 when you should be charging $299 maybe. So we can't do it. And so thank God my business is not based on, any of those referrals, because I'd have 8,000 1-star ratings for sure. Because everybody would hate me because I'm not going to do it. I can't do it for cheap. I just can't. And in coaching, I do that too. I teach everybody coaching and how to price. It's only based on your expenses and cost. Exactly. It's a simple formula. Who cares what Brad in Hawaii or Jeff in Hawaii is doing, right? Because we have different overheads. We have different needs. We have different, so you do it that, and who cares? If they say no, if you reduce it, only your company or you lose money, nobody else. So it's good. I'm super glad you're busy. What brought you to the channel? How'd you find it? I'm always curious to ask as well.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, because as I just started in May, so now I'm still figuring things out. So,
so did you go to YouTube, or did you find me somewhere else and you're like, how to be an electrical contractor?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And you're like, who's this idiot that never shuts up, right? Maybe he's got something to say. Very cool.
So it's been. Yeah.
Well, I appreciate you. This is what this is for too, by the way. And I always tell everybody, this is Brad. You've done several coachings. We got a great relationship. I told Brad I'm going to go to work for him. That's my next phase in life, by the way. Because Brad's been on this channel.
Come on down,
and
brother.
Christian, I don't know where Christian is. I invited Christian. I haven't seen Christian in forever. But anyway, we'd love to see you. But also, Zach, this is the time where there's no shame in my game, man. I'm asking the same questions. Like, I'm going to ask basic. Sometimes we'll talk about simple code and I'll be like, oh crap, I don't know that. Like, okay, hey, why, I asked all the questions. So this is the time too. You're paying, you're a joined member. This is the time where, if you have any questions, you got Brad here that's been doing it a while. You have, but this is the way we bounce it around. Hey guys, what's your opinion on this? Or how do you think we should do that? I know I do it all the time. In coaching too, I learn stuff all the time. So it's kind of a blessing for me. Let's get in here and see if anybody's got any questions we can answer. What do you think? Michael, do you guys get most of your bigger work through contacts like builders, contractors, or are you getting substantial work come directly to you from the customer? All right. We can answer that pretty easily, I think. I know you're just starting out, Zach, and we'll ask you your marketing program. I don't know if you've done any of my courses yet, but for me, Michael, 100%, not 100%. 80% of my work is word of mouth, residual, existing clients, builders and contractors for sure. I'm all about property management companies. I'm all about really good general contractors. But now I've graduated from general contractors to developers. So now I'm working directly for developers, and I'm skipping the general contractor part. So that's just my process. It's been going on because now we're getting to bigger and bigger projects. I hit LA in 2 weeks. I have one project on the channel that's been signed up for 750,000. Now I got to readjust it. That was supposed to be broken ground within 6 months. Here we are going 9 months. Guess what? We're breaking ground. Thank God, finally. That takes care of me for all 2023, 2024. That's that one project. That came from a developer. And then I'm getting it from my marketing course. My marketing course that I sell to you guys and give you a customized paper is exactly what I do in my company. That's why I can care less. If anybody ever calls me and says they found me on Yelp, I'll 100% not even go. I'll be like, oh, yeah, no problem. That's when we did Yelp. We don't do residential anymore. Here, find somebody else. Have a nice day. Click. I'm not even going to go because it's not my client. They're not going to pay me the minimum that we need to get paid. Of course, California is a lot more expensive than most places. I would argue that Hawaii is probably one of the most expensive. So that's how I'm getting it. How are you guys getting them? And then, Zach, tell us what your plan is moving forward. And if you don't have one, we'll definitely help you get one. Brad, you're now pretty much the videos and the programs I know because I've heard from you millions of times. Yeah. But go ahead.
So I'm pretty much 50-50 right now. We did a pretty big push on getting Chamber of Commerce contacts. So I'm a member of 3 different chambers.
Nice.
So that's networking there. Yep. I reached out to, when I was in your position, Zach, I pretty much called everybody I could find within a 10-mile radius and called anybody building homes, GCing. I called handymen. I got a few handymen that actually get me leads, which is great because the ones that come from them aren't outlet replacements. They're like not light switches. It's none of that crap.
They're taking care of it, right?
They're taking care of all that stuff. Nice. They're doing ceiling fan replacements. They're doing all the flush mount lights.
It's a great idea.
They call me in when they're like, hey, I know my lane. This is out of my reach, and then I can come in and it's a nice warm lead. The handyman's already had his little bit of money, and they hand it up to me. So I'm getting panel replacements from them, big huge lighting designs. Those are pretty warm leads. The builders,
that's a great idea. I'm gonna steal that.
Go for it. You've given me enough. Have that one. Chamber of Commerce contacts. I reached out to every restaurant I go into. I asked them, hey, you got anybody fixing the light? Who's doing your refrigerator work? Who's doing this? Who's doing that? That's been a good contact for me. Generator repair men in Texas. Everybody repairs generators. I have this great contact with a portable generator repair guy. He does small equipment repair. He gives me all the big standby generator jobs, and I dip him all the smaller ones. So we have a good relationship there, and it's a nice warm lead. So I tried pretty hard I don't like doing retail work. I don't like doing service is okay through word of mouth. I've grown that way, but I'm also at the point where we just hired on another guy. So I have 2 guys working for me. So keeping them out on the road, I'm doing exactly what Jeff recommends. So they're out on the road doing the volume work, and I come in and do the high price service work, which is great because now I can price a lot higher because now they need to pay for me to leave the office and my family. So it's kind of a good position to be in. But yeah, we price pretty high for service work. So we're pretty excited about that. But yeah, word of mouth on the service.
It's been getting pretty crazy. The prices just keep going higher, and we have no choice.
No, we don't have any choice. And, if you're leading with value, I try to do a lot of pre-qual over the phone. So I have them send me pictures. I have them do FaceTimes with me. I try to sell as much as I can over the phone. Yeah. I'll fix every GFCI I can fix over the phone. I just builds value. And you'll leave it as like, hey, call me after when you're done and you need something bigger. The Square D repairs were good for us.
Are you doing that? Are you doing that?
I'm doing them. Yeah.
Oh, I haven't done a single one yet, believe it or not. I don't know what happened with that whole program.
It is.
How you getting the leads or the calls?
People are just calling. My wife does a really good job. She's like my marketing guru. So she's on all the wife's groups and the mom's groups, and everybody's like, "Oh, my light for Square D." Yeah, my light's flickering. I'm like, well, I know a guy that does electrical work, so she's been pretty good at that. But yeah, the Square Ds have been pretty good. It's you can get upwards of $250 a whack. So
for the repair.
For the repair.
Yeah, and it's pretty simple. Is it?
Yeah, you're literally torquing a few screws. Neutral, right? Yeah, that's all you're doing. So you're taking your torque and then you're just marking it with a marker. You take a before and after picture, and then you just fill out a form on Square D's or Schneider's website and then send it in. The only thing that really stinks is it's like a 4-month wait to get your money.
Whoa.
But I use that as my free way into the customer, and of course you upsell while you're there. Hey, I noticed this. Do you want energy management? Do you want to know what your electricity's doing?
Whole house
Hey, that
surge
looks like
protector.
whole
Pop it
house
in on
surge
Square
protector.
D.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know, hey, by the way, you're in a new code cycle. You need this, and this. Are you interested? And we've been selling home automation like it's going out of style. So everybody wants to talk to something. But yeah, those are pretty much our go-tos. Handymen are absolutely awesome because I don't want to deal with the lower stuff.
Yeah. And that's a great idea. You know what? That's a really good idea too. I guess because we're not doing as much residential anymore,
Right.
is get in touch with some good handymen and say, look, I'm giving you all my low hanging fruit.
Yeah.
You give me your high hanging fruit. You're going to probably refer him more than he's going to refer you anyway.
Oh,
so you don't have to like exchange, like I'll give you $20, you give me $20.
Right.
Kind of thing.
And my relationship there is great because who's getting the call after I've smashed a hole in the wall to run a wire somewhere? It's him. He's getting drywall repair. He's getting plaster. He's getting
I'll make
paint.
sure
he
I
does
smash
all
some
of that.
holes.
Smash them all.
Smash
Do you need a hole like this big or no? I'm going to go
right.
this big. Yeah, I need to get my whole hand in there. But those ones are good. And as far as commercial goes, nursing homes have been really good with us. I have a partner HVAC contractor. He somehow solidified like 3 nursing home chains, which I didn't know was a thing down here in Texas. And they've got all the mechanical and he dips me all the electrical. So it's been a pretty good one. But that took a lot of cold calling and trying to find. You just kind of worm your way in and push people out of the way with your massive amounts of value. And we always follow up and we have customer satisfaction reports and reviews, and we send gift certificates out to people and thank you notes. And those flyers from the marketing course, Jeff, are fire. Those things are going
cool.
Because everybody's like, wow, I never even knew you did this. I'm like, yeah. We do a whole lot of stuff.
Hey, I just did mine for Montana. Oh, I got it right there. I should bring it. Let me do a promo plug.
Promo plug. You need it.
Yeah, totally. So Zach, what do you think? So are you at the point where you just want you want to take anything and everything, which I love. When contractors come to me, I had a coaching call the other day and the guy hates residential. And I looked at his area and it wasn't big. I think maybe 40,000 people, but he hates residential. I'm like, so you hate your bread and butter. I get it. Okay. But what do you want, so I'll take anything that we quote unquote make money, but remember, it's not only about the money. How much are we going to pay Angie's or Yelp for a lead and then fight for it? 4 people. Here comes Lewis. Hey, Lewis, what's up, buddy? So we're going to fight 4 or 5 people. Hey, this one, you didn't lose money. You broke even. But now, like Brad said, my marketing course, we're trying to make 1 client guaranteed into 3. That will guarantee get you to 9, 27, so on and so forth. I call it the ripping $100 bills. So, Zach, I want to get back to you. Lewis, thanks for dropping in real quick. Lewis, where are you coming in from again?
California, the Bay Area.
That's right, Bay Area. Okay, I'm going to grab my paperwork right here. Let me know, you're electrical contractor or electrician?
Electrician, apprentice, actually.
Okay, apprentice. So I have another Lewis. I thought that was you. This is the first time we're meeting as well, isn't it?
No, we've actually done a coaching
there
session.
You go. Okay, see, so there's my ADD brain, right? Okay, hold on one second. Zach, I want to know what your plans are on your marketing and what you're doing right now. Can you go for that really quick? I'm going to hear you on the speaker, but I'm going to grab my course.
My plans for marketing, so far I've only done Google. I just pay for Google ads. That's where I got all my work. Google ads has brought in like 200,000. And yeah, and then I have obviously, and then the repeat customers I get from Google ads. I tried Yelp, but Yelp is trash. I probably spent, I don't know, a couple $1,000s.
Oh, see that? I hate that, man. I feel for you, bro. I was so tempted to do the same thing because I wanted leads. And then what happened was I signed up for Yelp and then the phone calls came like the salespeople. And I'm like, dude, I'm not getting involved in this crap. And then of course I had to develop something that actually, it worked. Take what's the thing I said on the video? Don't pay for leads, be the lead. That's it. That's the name of the game. You just have to be this much better at doing whatever you're doing. Leads, work, value than the client next to you. I'm losing my my voice. Sorry.
Yeah.
So very cool. So there's the flyer for my own Montana one. I should probably call by the phone number because everyone's going to call me, right? Here, I'll do that. But so in my marketing course, it's going to be hard to do that. I didn't think about it. It's okay. So in my marketing course, once you do it, you pick all the things that you want. You want to do here. For me, I picked solar because we're going to do solar here. Nobody else is doing it. EV car chargers. I put new construction, panel upgrades, commercial electrical, because that's what I want to do up here, remodel, gate motors, and LED lighting. So those are the main items I put here at the top. And then we call that, what did I call that, Brad? There's Brad's right there too. So Brad picked, what did you pick for your big ones?
I got wiring, installation, and repair, indoor, outdoor lighting, electrical inspections, which have been an absolute cash cow for me.
Which one?
Surge protect,
Which one?
Electrical inspections.
Oh, nice.
So
cool.
That was actually a way, Zach, you might want to try that. That was a way for me to read out like all the tire kickers. That's pretty much like my base. I'm selling that as like a full safety assessment to get a baseline of your house and its electrical system, where we're sitting. And then you can stage out all the projects to go ahead and build it out. But that's $297, and I'm getting that all day long. So
hey, that's great money, guys. If you do $297 a day, at least you're putting food on the table. You're paying for stuff, you know, for one man, two man shows. I mean, you got to do more than that. But
yeah,
so that's how my flyer works. I give this to you, but then Brad will tell you. Then we have the coupon, and I teach you how to use the coupon as a selling tool. And then we have the kitchen sink, which is all the little stuff that you want to just put in there. You know, for me, meter upgrades, because I have panels, but a lot of people here have the meter that's separate from the panel. I figure I put it in. Outlet switches, I put low voltage. Electrical inspections is here on my little one, Brad. So that's what we do. But this comes with a whole package with gift certificates. And I saw, Brad, you had your magnet. Anyway, that's a great way for you to start. Zach, don't stop paying Yelp. It's take 50, capital TAKE 50. You're going to get $50 off. Go to the website, do it, man. You're going to love it. And then you get a free half-an-hour call with Joe Burnich to help you level up on your Google. He's going to teach you about all that stuff.
Google My Business is fire. Yeah,
I tell everybody, I know Brad's done it. Lewis, I don't think you've done advertising because you said you're still an apprentice. But everybody that's done it, everybody that's done the marketing has been absolutely happy. For $349, print-ready copies for all of it with everything I've done. That's why I live in Montana and I run a business in California, because of this, pretty much. It's full for active, passive, progressive marketing. There's my pitch. I'm bringing it back to you guys. Lewis, come on in here, my friend. So, Lewis, you're still apprentice? You're working for somebody else right now?
Yes, I'm actually in the last year of my apprenticeship program.
Very cool.
I go to class in April. I'm done. And then I have about 600 hours I need to finish up with for the 8,000 hours the state requires. And then I need to sit and take my state cert for California.
Yep. Very cool, man. Very cool. And you're happy with the company you're at now?
Well, that's why I'm a member of this channel. You know, just last year around May, I started looking electrical estimating. I just wanted to get an idea how to estimate. And one of your videos popped up and I was like, I think I can do this.
Right.
You know, I mean, I've had the pleasure, thankfully for my apprenticeship, I've worked industrial jobs, water treatments, schools. I've done hospital work, prisons. So it's given me a wide experience.
Cool.
And I'm just like, all the physical tasks and everything. It's like, I think I can become an electrical contractor. I mean, I'm already doing it for someone else. Yeah,
absolutely, man. And that's the road. You know, listen, again, and Zach, you're going to agree with me, and Brad, all of us are pretty good at the trade, or else we can't get licensed. We probably wouldn't be doing it anymore. We'd be dead. But it's the business part that some of us and most of us suck at. And I would argue with me, look, I'm not the greatest either. Obviously, there's people way bigger than me that should probably take over this YouTube channel. But the point is, for us, it's just we help each other by asking these questions, getting on live, and just because it's like one little secret. Like, how many times have you guys sat there? I know, Brad, you just mentioned it. All of a sudden you go, you know, I never thought about doing LED lighting at retrofits. Like, I didn't think that was and then you get it, and all of a sudden you get 4 jobs that are LED retrofits. You know, Zach, you're going to get into a job, and then all of a sudden you're going to see that I got 3 of these type of jobs all of a sudden. You know what I mean? It's like by talking to people, oh, gate motors. I know you got private gates in Hawaii. Get into gate motors. Solar, for sure, with the incentives right now, you guys got to get into solar. So I love that. I love the fact that, you know, you got that diversity, because diversity is what's going to keep your doors open during recession. Plain and simple. This guy that I told you I coached, God bless him, he doesn't want to get into residential. I'm like, you're shooting yourself in the foot. You know, you got to be diversified and then pick and choose who you want. Once you've been 3 years minimum, I always tell everybody, because that's the business industry standard. If your business survives 3 years and you're profitable, you're probably going to survive forever and ever. You're doing something right. Most businesses are going to fail within that first year, definitely by the 3rd year. Most of they're going to fail because they don't know their marketing. They're pray and spray marketing. They're paying everybody $800,000 thinking that they're going to recoup when they're really breaking even. So crazy. Very cool. So what kind of projects are you on now? And by the way, Northern California, you guys started off, no more natural gas, guys. Zach, Brad, no more natural gas in California. Everything's electrical. Heat pump. Can't put a gas furnace in.
That will never pass here in Texas.
Big finger. It might pass in Hawaii, Zach. So again, it might not be there now, but think about this for a second. Lewis knows it. We have to put, we're up 200 amp panels on 1,000 square foot condos now. We have no choice. The heat pump, the oven, the everything's. So Zach, think about it. If it's not in Hawaii, I don't want to talk politics, but it's a blue state. It's coming. Red states, do whatever you want. Burn the fuel, whatever. Blue states, you got to think about that and go, crap, let me prepare for it. So then all of a sudden, when it's all about heat pumps, you're already educated. You're already hit up all the HVAC guys because they're going to have to run bigger wires, different stuff. You're already set up for that. And then that's going to get you over the edge on the competition. I think that's a good way to go too. Let's get some questions in here.
EV chargers are big money for me too.
I think that one big problem I ran into is this person called and they asked me to put in an oven hood, and I said, okay, I wanted to look at it, and she said they've been working on it for 2 years, and so then I got the plans, and it just said, hey, they're just going to put a shunt trip, and it's just going right to, it would be a main shunt trip, and then it's just going to have I think it was 2 ovens, and it's a small kitchen.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so she said that's all it is. So then I bid for the what the prints were, and then I got there, and then the HVAC guy got there, and he's like, this big control box, and I was like, what? She just said it was going to be a shunt, and inside the control box was all this other stuff. So then I told her, I was like, well, this is, because the hood fan was going to have a control box, and then where it would control the fire alarm, lighting, everything.
It's a restaurant,
right? Yeah, it's like a bake. It's called Baked on Maui. It's like a coffee shop.
Sure. Okay. Right. I was gonna say because yes, those are with the exhaust, the fire alarm. They're all tied in.
Yep. Right. And so, but on the prints, it wasn't on there. So then I told her, oh, well, yeah. And so it had all this other stuff that wasn't on there, and I told her, so I did a change order, and then when I did the change order, she's like, oh, this is way more. And so she paid for that because the lighting was bad. So I fixed that. And it was just a mess because she was going through a divorce, and her husband normally dealt with the contractors, and she didn't know what she was doing. And now she said, oh, I don't want to do it after I did the change order. And she just wanted it functional. I was like, okay. So I made it functional. And then she said, well, how much is it going to cost to do, add all the wires and everything, like all the low voltage, the important things, for the reason for putting it in. And so I sent her that, and then she said, well, I don't know. And so now I'm just kind of, I don't know what to do.
So just a bit of advice, Zach, been there, done that. Yeah. Two problems. Never Band-Aid anything. I know it's going to be tough because you're just starting out. If you did it and it's not 100% to code or whatever, I'm not saying it's not your power, but when you got stuff in there, don't even touch it. Say, I either do it or don't. I run into a lot of times where I walk into, let's just say, a building or a condo, a lot of the tract homes, where back then they didn't have a screw on the receptacle, right? They're stabbed in. So most people, and I think everybody agrees, would come in and say, I'm gonna get Lewis off that feed for just a second. Are going to go in and they're going to go, well, that I found the receptacle, $199, and they fix it and they leave. And what do? They resplice it, put a new one in. Nope. I walk in there, and if I see a burnt outlet because it's stabbed, I tell them I have to do the whole thing. Every receptacle here needs to get changed. I need to pigtail, splice it, and bring it up to code. Plain and simple. Why? For $299, it's going to do me nothing. If there's a problem, heaven forbid, anybody can sue anybody in California. I'm going to be on that lawsuit because another outlet burnt. Why didn't you tell the client about it? Why would you leave it like that? You knew it was stabbed. There's just a whole plethora. So I just tell them, I'll do the whole thing. It's $11.90. We're done. Your whole house is done. Because if I just do this one, it's a Band-Aid. Then when you plug in that wall heater, the portable heater into the other one, that one's going to burn, and you're not going to be happy with me anyway. So just be careful. That's the only advice I can give you. I'm not telling you, you did anything wrong.
Yeah, no, I was super because
Yeah,
it was
especially
just
with
she
tying in a
didn't.
fire alarm. Now, I'm not even allowed to
Yeah.
touch fire alarm systems with my C10.
Well, I'm not. I would just run the wire, and then
Right.
she would
Hook it up.
Johnson Control is
Oh,
the
yeah.
ones that
I do
does it.
work for
Yep.
Johnson Control.
Yep. Yep. So I would run the wire there, and then they would go and tie the ANSI system and all that stuff.
Right.
But I would have to run the wire, and that was the part I said this wasn't on the prints, and it was just a mess.
Yeah, I
And
hear you.
so I did change orders, but she was like, she shut off her business for a few days, and she was like, hey, just get it on. So like I put a jumper in there so the fire alarm wouldn't go on, and it was
Right.
just.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
So you got to be careful with that, especially
yeah,
again, blue states got to be way more careful.
yeah.
Red states, they sign, or look, I have a paperwork course. What do you know? You write on the paperwork that this is a temporary for testing only. Do not operate normally, and have them sign. And then you walk away. You get your money, you walk away. I just did a temp for testing. You're the one that turned it on, used it day to day. Therefore, they took on all liability. Super important. Check out my paperwork course too. So really quick, Michael said, I'm debating cold calling contractors and introducing myself, trying to build those relationships. So I've got a video called the Upside Down Pyramid. Absolutely, Michael. Call. But what you want to do is you want to say it like this. Hey, my name is Michael. I'm calling from XX whatever electrical contracting. We're actually, or I will usually say like, hey, my name is da-da-da. I'm actually an electrical contractor in your neighborhood. I wanted to just say hi and introduce myself. Hey, is there a way that I can get on your vendor list? Or if there's any projects, I would love to bid. You're going to get a response of two things. When you say vendor list, they know what you're talking about. They're going to say, oh, no, we're good. We're pretty solid. Like we don't need any other vendors. I usually go with, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. But I don't mind being on your B team. Like I don't mind being on your B team. I know you have your regulars. God bless that. But what if they can't make it or you have an emergency? I'll come 24 hours. Just give me a shot. Put me on your B team. Then they'll put you down. Or they're going to tell you exactly that. They're going to say, do you have your general liability? You have this. They're going to send you that application. If they do that, you definitely want to follow up. That's a good thing for you to do as well, Zach, out in Hawaii. Start cold calling like that. I better get a bottle of water. Let me tell you. All right. Developers are usually financial groups that are connected to realtors or builders, correct? Yes and no. Developers are just people like you and me with a buttload of money. So it doesn't mean that they're in a developer group. You can find them through realtors. What I would generally do is you can go on to, what is the website for realtors? Not Zoom, Zillow. There is the other one. I should know it. I'm on it all the time. LoopNet. Okay. LoopNet is commercial properties. You want to get on there. You want to call and contact those CRE realtors. Okay. You won't believe how many leases they sign, and how they sign those leases is, yes, they work for developers and big owners, mall owners. Well, when a place is rented, TI needs to go in. The realtor that signs the deal takes care of all the negotiating on the TI contract, how much they're going to pay, how much these guys are going to pay. If they become your best friend, you're the go-to to get that lead. So definitely hit up those people as well. Lewis, you bumped out again. If you're in there, just click back in. I'm going to give this question to one of you guys while I grab some water. What do you do when you find yourself in a bit of a rut? Not enough leads to hire someone, but not enough time to do more work. Brad, I'm going to give that one to you. I'm going to grab a little bit of water.
Start making phone calls to past customers. That's been probably one of the biggest lead streams for me personally. I'll call just to check in and see how the project's going, even if I was just replacing a GFCI. Just check in. I want to stay top of mind. I'll ask them if they have any other work around the house that they want to do. If that's a no, I'll say, hey, do any of your neighbors need something to do? If there's a no on that, I ask, at least can I get a review? And I'll just send that over. Even if they've already given me a review, I'll just get another one from them. But that all feeds back to Google My Business, which in my area, people only care about Google My Business or a straight up referral from a family member. But if they don't find you on Google My Business with 5-star and 4 or 5-star reviews, then they're not doing anything. But I will cold call all my old customers. So keep a service software of some kind where you can keep those guys on record, and then just check in on them. I'll do that anytime I'm low, or other than that, it's just make phone calls, call realtors, call handymen, just call. You can spend a day making phone calls and be exhausted by the end of it. And even if you've called 20 people and you only make one good connection, that's one more connection than you had before you started calling. So it also gets you a lot more comfortable on the phone. I love it when people tell me no or give me an attitude, because it just means I'm getting that much better on my phone call skills. And I think cold calling for us in the industry is probably, I think it's an art form that not a lot of people practice because everybody's scared of it. And I think when you can call somebody and pitch yourself and your company in a very professional manner, you know what you're talking about, and you're not scared of work or talking to people, I think that goes a long way. So that's pretty much what I do when I don't have leads. I go find them. You make them. You just poof, here they are.
Yeah, it's kind of hitting the street. It's doing the grunt work. You know what, Joe? I know Joe has probably heard, Brad has probably heard about it. So it says, what do you do when you find yourself in a bit of a rut? That's awesome advice. Absolutely. And go to friends and family. Look, do the marketing course. Remember, you're not going to pay for anything when times are good. And then when you don't pay for anything to get ready for times are bad, you're kind of stuck starting from zero. So get the marketing course, because also in the marketing course, we're going to be passing out those gift cards. I'm going to take gift certificates, right? We're going to make those 3 into 9. And so you're not sitting. Field software, he's right. The other day I did a video on it. I don't know if it's out yet. It is. It's on my podcast. Did you guys know I have a podcast? I put it up here. Brad, are you signed up to my podcast?
I'm on it. Yeah.
Zach,
I am, sir. Yes.
You signed up to my podcast?
I was one of the first ones to sign up.
Free. Thank you. Appreciate that. I forgot to put that up here. Maybe I should put it up here, right? Here it is. There it is. Okay. So on the podcast, I said it when you have, I'm sponsored by FieldPulse. I'm a brand ambassador for them. I know, Brad, you signed up for them. So tags in your field software, tags. I don't care if it's just residential, because then you're like, crap, I have no work to do. And it's about to be spring. Well, spring forward, fall back, change out batteries on smoke detectors. It's not to make money. It's to make that Brad now said, make those phone calls. Hey, Brad, how are you? Or hey, Zach, how are you? This is, me, Jeff from 360 Electrician. We did that project for you last year. I just want to let you know that, you did, because it's residential work. You put a tag. I know we did some residential for you work, and you'll have it there and go, hey, we're offering a special on smoke detectors and battery replacement with lithium-ion Energizer batteries to get you past the year. Can I sign you up? It's just a $99 service call, whatever. Hey, while you're coming out, that ceiling fan, or hey, while you're coming out, oh, I just remembered. Oh, 100%. And then at least you're putting food on the table. You're getting by to the next day. So tags are important. So the next thing is not enough leads to hire someone. Remember, and this is what I was talking about because my ADD kicked in. So when you're ready to hire someone, people say, how do I do it? Well, you got to get your first whale job. So I just heard that from another YouTuber, and I go, I wonder if he's watched my video or if he stole it from me, because I don't know if I've ever heard that anywhere else. I thought I coined it. I should have copyrighted it, right? So what's your whale job? Your whale job, and this is perfect for you, Zach. Find that job that's going to carry you at least 2, 3, 4 months, 5 months. New construction, brand new house, huge remodel, TI, something that's a 3-4 month job. That's when you want to be. Everything else is ready. Your marketing's ready. Your paperwork's ready. You're a member of this channel. You're listening to podcasts. You're listening to other YouTubers, not just me, that are giving you good business advice. Then you get that whale job, and boom, you're ready to turn on the switch. That's when you hire someone. Because now, what's my motto and what do I teach in coaching? If you're just starting out, Zach, this is for you too. 3-man show is where the money's at. And I think, Brad, you're now above that, but you work in your on your business and part-time in your business. Sales calls and emergency service calls. That's your department. These two, your next journeyman and helper, chase you all day finishing the work that you're selling and those big projects that you're bidding. And then when you do my pricing and coaching, you know that as long as these two are working, you're making $150,000 a year, as long as they can work 40 hours. That's profit. That's starting out. That could be your first year, as long as you know you can keep two guys busy for 40 hours. And it's not that hard. Right now, it's not that hard. We're in the honeymoon stage, right? We're in the honeymoon stage still. Money's still being picked off low fruit. All right, what do we got here? If you become a contractor, do you need your master's license to bid jobs? Depends on the state. You don't, some states let you, again, Zach, you can be a journeyman to do the work, but you need to be the contractor to pull the permits. Okay. So if permits aren't involved, you're a business. You can do whatever you want.
Right. Yep.
A lot of states are like that. Montana is the same thing. You could be a journeyman and master, do work all day long. You just can't pull permits. They won't let you unless you have a limited or unlimited contractor's license.
You still have to carry all the license.
What's that?
Or sorry, you still have to carry all the insurance though. Like,
right.
Yeah, but yeah.
It's so backwards sometimes.
Yeah.
I'm still a 4th-year apprentice and will be topping out in a year and a half. That's awesome, man. Good luck to you. Joe, we appreciate you too. I love the advice. I'm going to call my past customers and go for the cold calling days. What CRM are you guys using? Brad, we're using the same thing right now.
FieldPulse.
FieldPulse. If you sign up, links below, and right now the links are there. I finally put them up before. You get 15% off your monthly. You get 30% off your yearly. FieldPulse is not perfect. No software is, but I tell you what they do. They got project management, which I love to death, and the user interface, love to death. Brad, you and I are both were on House Call too.
Yeah, I was on House Call. I
love
really
House Call, but great for service. Sucked for everything else for me.
Yeah, I couldn't do bids on that real well. FieldPulse gives you progressive billing. So in some areas, like when I was in Massachusetts, I had to do like 30%, deposit, 30% after rough, and then you can collect the next 30. So FieldPulse lets you do those progressive invoices. As you grow, they have, website integrations. The integrations that they have in the back end are just insane. So QuickBooks, you don't even think about it. The reports that you can run at the end of the month, you want to find out how sales are doing. You want to find out what Jeff was talking about with the tags. So you can pull reports just on tags. So if you're doing generators, you just type in generators and you see how many generators you've done and all the profit margins that you've got in. So you get a pretty good idea. And you got to become a data junkie with this type of stuff, because when you're spending marketing dollars, you need to know it's going to get stuff. I mean, you don't want to be wasting your money, but you can start low. I mean, I think FieldPulse is totally affordable and it's worth it. You need it if you're starting. Period.
In fact, I just did my last video. Where's FieldPulse? I got some shirts to give away. Should we give away some FieldPulse shirts?
Yes.
Okay. All right. You heard it. This is because of Brad. If you sign up for FieldPulse and you get them and you pay for the monthly or the yearly, it's up to you. Go to FieldPulse. And by the way, I tell everybody, don't do your trial till you're ready to do your trial, right? When I first got into it, I did everyone's 15-day trial, 30-day trial, and I didn't even have time to look at it. And I'm like, damn it. Now I got so fake email, do another one. Fake email, right? If you sign up, okay, the first person that emails me at info@the360electrician.com gives me their name and company name. I don't get money out of it, by the way. I'm a brand ambassador, so I'm already been paid by FieldPulse. So I can, I don't get any incentive if you sign up. But if you sign up, I do know it because I do want to get analytics. I'm going to send you guys a free FieldPulse shirt. I'm going to show you what it is right now, but I got to go over there to do that. So I will in a second. So if you do FieldPulse, let me know. Just email me at info@the360electrician.com. I think the first person that does that, so I'm going to send you a free shirt from FieldPulse. They got other merch they sent me too. What else did they send me? They sent me a bunch of stuff. I got Ranger merch I got to send out. Ranger design. I got a video coming out in 2 days. I finally got the 8-foot section in. I'll be giving away a bunch of stuff there, especially the cars. Can you see the cars right here?
Nice.
Ranger sent me their cars with the U-Transit van, the Sprinter van. I think they're freaking awesome. I've got a Transit, so I'm keeping one of the Transits. But there's a Sprinter. There's the ProMaster. I got to give stuff out. Hey, this is from this is all going out. It's Ranger hoodies. Really cool. This is all coming out in the video that we're doing in a couple days. So yeah, that's great. And then you know what, Zach, you're probably doing QuickBooks now.
I use SimPro.
Okay.
And then SimPro, and then I use Asana for my project management. And then like ClickSend for automations and Zapier. And
so you
yeah,
12 different things going on though. We want to try to get those all into one.
Oh yeah, it is. So SimPro is, I don't know if you guys are.
I've heard of SimPro. I've never used it.
SimPro is really good.
You pay for that?
Yeah. It's
okay.
Like,
I'm gonna go SimPro right now.
But yeah, SimPro is probably it's the most customizable programs on the market. But what I was going to ask you guys is, what do you guys use for catalogs? So, because then I'm in some networking in Australia, but in Australia they have open catalogs, so you just upload them on your software. What do you guys do for catalogs? Are you hooked up to Graybar or?
Yeah. So see, that's the funny part. So now you're talking about, okay, so here's the fine line. Sorry, Brad, I'll let you answer too. So here's the fine line for me with catalogs, and you think that they're great and they sound awesome, correct? When you got somebody that's behind a desk that's doing bidding, and maybe right now you have that time, but anything that needs to be counted needs to be managed. Anything that needs to be managed, you got to pay someone to do it, or you got to do it yourself, which takes away time. To me, the motto is live 1,200 miles away. That means you have more time is worth more than money per se. So I don't like catalogs for the simple reason is I don't itemize at all. I will generalize, but I don't itemize. I don't sell parts. I don't sell labor. I sell service, period. End of story. Whether that's building a skyscraper or just doing a $2 switch change out. So I tend not to go to catalogs. Now, to bid, I get what you're saying with catalogs. It might be easier, but at the end of the day, it's just a hell of a lot of work than me saying, okay, I know what a Romex basically costs. And, I'm putting it speed. I want to give my proposals right on the spot. I don't go back to the office and call you back unless there's a special order part, a switch gear that's obviously, I don't know what it is, a specialty transformer, crazy lighting. If it's a residential project, light commercial project, and I can bid it there on the spot, propose it, and get a yes or a no, that's what I do, hands down. Now I've gotten to the point where I've got the relationships and it's all done. I don't get any no's. It's just, when can you start? But so I don't really use the catalogs. FieldPulse, I don't know if it has catalog integration. I know you can. It's got price books. It's got all that. I just don't use it. I only use it for like the items that I sell every day, like gate motors. I only sell one brand, 4 models of gate motor. I preloaded it. And then that price is usually updated every 6 months when they send me the new price sheet. I'll update it. But I don't. So gray bar catalog for what was I going to say? PLC push switch. I mean, what would you need what are you thinking of when you say catalogs? Like, what would you be using?
Catalog. Well, because I mean, as an electrician, we sell 2 things. We sell labor and material.
Right.
So that's, as an electrician, that's all you do. So knowing your cost of goods sold so you can be profitable is extremely important. And so I do the same thing as you. I don't itemize things, but I do need to know on the business side of what each item is worth and the value, and then whether it's going
you
up
want to
and
know
down.
that your company made 26.6% profit. Just give an example. Like, you want to know your exact numbers. You want to Excel sheet it out. Detail.
Exactly. Yeah. Because you don't know if you're profitable, where you're losing, making money. Now, when it comes down to, there's a lot of things that you don't have to know, is like screws and stuff. That's just miscellaneous items.
Okay.
But when it comes to wire, wire nuts, I do the same thing as you. So like, if it was a device, what I do is, it's just like a fixed price. And so, but then knowing inside of that fixed, right. So a fixed price, when I did that, it's call out fee, talking to the customer, cleaning up, wire nuts, amount of wire I'd put like 100 feet, right? So then my margins would be variable, and then I would have different prices for commercial versus other things. And so like you're saying, I would go on site and I can and it's the same thing.
Yep.
But the hardest thing is,
so a simple TI that is a small coffee shop. How long would it take you to bid that out and get everything done?
Right now, it'd take me a while because I haven't done them before. So it'd be the first time.
Okay. So in general, how long would a bid take you? A $12,000 project. How long do you think it would take you to bid from by the time you go out there, see the customer, go back to the office, do your pricing?
Oh yeah.
Flowers?
Well, if with my system, no, it would take me 10 minutes.
Okay.
And you send it out because you have all your pricing. So you do fixed pricing, right?
Yeah.
So if they have outlets or whatever it is, you would just go in there and you add it up, and then you just give them a lump sum price and you send it over. And then in Simpro, it just automatically sends it to the customer once they sign it. And then I have it. So it's, within 3 days, that contract expires. They sign it,
when you take Simpro out and you say 3 receptacles, you put in 3 receptacles, it's giving you your labor hours.
Yep. Yeah. You can customize it to whatever you want.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. I got it. Yeah. That doesn't work for me. I've never used it, but I don't knock you at all. The problem is you're still small. I think you're actually losing out in a lot of ways, but I teach that, and I'm not going to argue with that. Anybody in here that's doing that and it works for you, it works for me. My issue is that anything, and you're saying it takes you 10 minutes to do a $12,000 bid. That's great. That's faster than me in my system.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to take a lot longer. But in general, I'm doing it off plain and simple, my simple line items. I'm doing a daily labor rate. I know what my daily labor rate is. My job then is to figure out from experience, how many days this job's going to take. Because SimPro can tell me that outlay takes 15 minutes. That's what you're bidding on. But you know dang well, I know you can adjust it, but the next guy might come in and go 15 minutes. Or, you know, how are you going to do wire? A lot of guys get on Blue Beam. I have it too. Oh, we run from troffer to troffer. And then we look at it and go, 180 feet? No way. I know for a fact, drop ceiling, I'm going to go boom, boom, boom. And that's maybe a roll of wire. You know what I'm saying? Or some people will bid it out. They'll get their bids out and then they'll come back. And I always argue, well, what do you do as soon as you get the bid? You better cross-check every single thing, because you can't send a bid out that somebody you don't know did for you and then lose $15,000 on a transformer they forgot to put in. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Do you know the book? What is it? Markup and Profit. Have you read that?
No.
So a lot of it is just learning how to, because what you're telling me though, it leaves you too many opportunities not to know exactly what you're.
Actually, there's no opportunities, because you do all your calculations. The only thing you do need to do is get your material at a decent amount. Remember, I'm not adding 10%, 20% on material. So if you're changing 10 GFIs at $15 each, that's $150. If I put 20% on it, I'm making $30 on that. There's no way I can do that. Right? Because remember, you're the salesman, your hat. You're the journeyman, your hat, right? You're not that company that you should be bidding that way. You actually should be bidding based on one simple thing. It's called value to the customer, and what it costs you. You know what it costs you based on doing your daily labor rate. That's where you make your money. Parts and material you don't want to lose, but that's the gravy on top of it. You want to make sure that you're counting for attrition. That's, you know, parts that are lost, scratched, or broken, and you want to make sure you're getting your counts right. If you generalize that and put a dollar amount over it, you're never going to lose. Now you're going to go, well, I don't know exactly how much money I made. That's simple. It depends on how you want to do your accounting. The end of the month, you made 40, all your expenses were 20. Guess what goes in your pocket? 20. It might sound ridiculous, but that is the best way for a small company, I think, up to probably 4 to 6 people to run their business. Otherwise, that's going to take, when you have 4 guys, right now you're by yourself, it sounds great. When you have 4 guys, you're not going to have 2 seconds to do any of that stuff. You better get a system that works instantly. And when your guys are on the field, they don't have to call you and say, what do I need to charge? Right? You want to teach them a system that's basic. You're an electrician. You're going to do the job. I'm not doing jobs 1,200 miles away. My guys are doing jobs in LA. They're responsible to know. Now, do we cross-check that? Have I had some ones that I went, oh, crap? Of course. But I always say electrical is a balancing game. But it's a whole thing that I don't think we can get into in 5 minutes. But I teach a system that's so simple, it's impossible for you not to make money unless you don't have billable, quote-unquote, hours, which are daily labor rates. That's plain and simple. I need you to go out there, like Brad said too. You just need to hustle. You need to put everything you can in. You need to throw your price out. And your price is based on your profit margins, expenses that you have, not what everybody else charges. Whenever I do coaching, it's always 60% are charging too low, 20% are charging exactly what they should, and 20% are charging more than I tell them. But those, almost all of them, have no idea exactly why they're charging that. Some of them come to me with Excel sheets. I've got an Excel sheet, or some of them say each truck needs to make this amount, blah, 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 blah. Some come and say each employee needs to make this much, blah, blah, blah. And then I start throwing the grenades. Your truck broke down midway. How do you calculate for that? Someone broke their arm. How do you calculate for that? You know, you got sick for 2 weeks. How do you calculate for? Where does that go into your sheet? Oh, well, now I got to go back, and now I got to forget all that. I just don't run my business that way. 16 years, been in the black the whole time. I can tell you I make money because I know I don't lose money, and I price it a certain way. So I have an average that I need to make. I don't need to know that I made 1,390. I need to know that I'm making 1,000 to 1,500, period. Anything in between, I don't want to count it. I don't care about it. Not that I don't care. I'm just saying I know about it, but I don't want to bother having someone have to manage it. I don't want to have to worry every day. I don't want to go online, look at my books and say $27 went there, 130 went there or there. At the end of the day, you're pricing it in a way that you know you're profitable, and you know you're profitable based on your numbers, not anybody else's. I always get my commercial bids, by the way. I'll let you know, Zach. The reason I always get my commercial bids is because I don't use bidding software, but everybody else does. And bidding software fluffs it, adds it, and everything. I don't pay someone $70,000 a year to bid because I don't want to be the guy with 40 employees anymore. 17 was the most I had. I'm capped out. I'm totally fine. I redid my structure to say, how the hell do I know that as long as my guys are working 1 hour, I know how much money I'm making? That's all I cared about, right? And that's how I did the system, and I made it super simple. And over 300 coaching people have probably started using that system. I had a guy with an MBA on. I'm going to put the video out, an MBA, and I'm like, oh boy, this is going to be fun. I've never had anybody with an MBA, although I do have a relative who works for $1 billion. He's a CFO. I ran it through him, and of course, it was kind of approved. I go, hey, this is the system that I do, and he was like, wow, that sounds amazing. This guy's an MBA, and he happens to be an electrical contractor now. And I go, okay, and he did coaching, and he goes, I want to know how to price. And I said, I know you learned everything in school. You tell me at the end of this, if I'm wrong, I'm going to apologize to 300 people. I swear it's on camera because I asked him if I could put it on YouTube. He goes, I've never been taught that or heard that in my life. I'm absolutely amazing and brilliant. Again, not if you're a 30-man show. My system's not going to work for you. I'm going to tell you that. I'm not coaching 30-man show. This channel is for electricians that want to become electrical contractors and electrical contractors looking to level up. Once you're a 30-man show, you do what you do, whatever works for you. But I want to level you guys up as fast as possible, not having to worry about some of that stuff. But anyway, I'm ranting and raving. Again, if it's working,
so you just work on efficiency.
What's that?
You just work on efficiency. From everything you're telling me, is basically your baseline.
It's a right.
So then you're
okay. So I do it this way. If I go to McDonald's right now, how much is a Big Mac? I don't know what it is. $5.99, right? If I go to a Big Mac 20 miles away, how much is it? $5.99. If I drive up to the McDonald's in my Bentley, how much is a Big Mac? $5.99. How much is it if I roll up on my bike? $5.99. They've got a system. What's that system? That system tells them $5.99, we make money. Our only goal is to make sure that somebody drives over and as many people buy that sandwich for $5.99. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think there was I'm saying the same thing, just in a different way.
Of course. I know you are. I'm absolutely. Yeah.
Simpro does the same thing. It's just you get into the nuts and bolts once you have everything down. And then you can set it so like for inflation, you can raise it by certain percentages. And then, you know what I mean? So you can,
again,
all that stuff.
Again, I feel you, man. I'm just cringing.
Everything is automated. Everything's automated.
Right.
So it's not.
I have to check it out.
It's not like I have to go on there and like do it manually. But
yeah. I've done about 10, 15 different systems over the years to try them out before I kind of again sat down and just re-engineered it and said, okay, how is this going to work in a way that's so simple that I don't have to think about it anymore? I don't want to manage my guys anymore if I don't have to. I don't want to go over there and go, how the hell did we lose money on this job? I don't want to have to go back and go, okay. Now, again, I have flow charts and all that stuff. I haven't put that out as a product, but when you come to my company, we have a flow chart exactly how the company works. Just like McDonald's again. Burger, bun, you put the mustard, you put the ketchup, you put the burger, you put the onions. Wait a minute. Customer complained. What did we do wrong? Oh, it's between the mustard and the ketchup. You know what I mean? And then we pinpoint. So after doing that for 16 years, I've been in business, we pinpointed that very early on and got rid of the curse and the wrenches. Anyway, let's get to some questions.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we got. I did 200 gross last year. First full year at it, put only 70 in the pocket after investing quite a bit. Nowhere near 3 guys though. Okay, 200K gross, not bad for starting out by any means. 70K in your pocket, not bad on 200. I would say that's pretty good. It's about average. People ask me what my margins are, and I'm usually between 40 and 60, depending on the job that I'm doing. That's gross profit. So just depends. So that's great. I know he's got a couple other things in here. Gonna have to check out FieldPulse. Absolutely. He's got another one in here. I see house call work is and other one link right to Google. House call again, great if you're only doing service, period. Work is don't even try it. Tried it, been there, done that. And then jobber, I know Brad, you were a big jobber guy originally. Just too limited.
I was.
Yeah, just too limited.
Jobber's okay. It also got a little too expensive for me because once you start adding on all the back end things that you need to make it customizable, it's, I don't know. For me, it was too expensive. I know other electricians in other states that use it, but I mean, they're also running bigger crews. There's a whole lot more there. I didn't need it, so there was a lot there. But yeah, FieldPulse has been the best one. I've tried them all because we can't afford Service Titan yet.
Did I tell you guys I test drove for Service Titan for the first time?
Did you like it?
Oh, wait, you did too, Brad. At your old company.
Yeah, I had them on my own company. It
Oh
wasn't.
my gosh.
It wasn't. Once I found out what the pricing was, I was like, it's not.
I mean,
you're buying
my
a
Armenian
Ferrari, but you're getting a
brothers, you
Honda
should have reached out a long time ago, but I probably wouldn't have taken them on. Horrible. I couldn't believe it. I was shocked. Juan, what's up, brother? I need some estimating class as soon as possible. What do you need estimating on? First of all, let us know where you're coming in from, Juan. This is Juan Carlos. Got a couple of ones here. Then that's outlined in a cupboard, and it takes 20 minutes to get. I think he's still talking about our bidding because he said a $12,000 project would take about 15 minutes. I don't know about 15 minutes. Depends on the project, I guess, right? I just bid one actually right now. He's right. I just bid a 12 EV chargers. Infrastructure's already in, just literally before I came to coaching. So 3 2-inch conduits going out to each 4. And they're 36 amp EV chargers. So we're going to run number 6 because we're over 200 feet. And infrastructure is already there, but we got to put the ballard, what is it called? The ballard, right? The blocking thing. Ballard, the posts from Enphase, Clipper Creek got bought out by Enphase, and we're recommended by Clipper Creek a lot. And then just run the wire. But because we have to do the cement work, the ballards run 200 feet to 12 chargers at number 6. We came up just about $12,000, and he's absolutely right. I bid that one out because, again, daily labor rate, we times it by, I think, 6. And then really fast, because I don't know what number 6 roll is, he gave me the total footage up to the 12. I just went to Home Depot to see what a number 6 roll was. And then we added a dollar amount. I think my material cost was $2,800. We added $750. We threw $750 on there because it's just wire for profit. I don't even know if that's 20% would have been 500. So yeah, 750, whatever that number is. We threw it out. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. It took 5 minutes. But we're bidding 10 things like that every week. So I can't take more than 10, 15 minutes sometimes on these jobs. You just can't. And then, of course, I shoot it out on my paperwork course on the email proposal with my exclusions and all that stuff. And I got a lot of good exclusions on that too. All right. For example, permitting, all that stuff, it's additional, this and that. Any communication. The EV chargers, if anything changes from the specifications and the prints. Who was just talking about that? Were you talking about that, Zach or Brad? You guys were talking about something. Oh, Zach, you were talking about it, how your prints were totally off. So on my exclusion sheet, one that says bid by plans. Brad, I know you've done the course. So as an exclusion or as a thing, I always say that when I send the bids out, this was bid based on emailed plans, February 23rd, 22nd, 2023, version 1.5, dated, blah, blah, like the exact plans that I got. Therefore, if anything ever changes, I could go back and then in the exclusions, I also write if there is any updates to plans, engineering, permitting, anything on the job site, whether it's related to electrical or not, must be forwarded to us within 24 hours of receiving, or additional may apply. The reason for that, I don't know if I told you guys about the rebar. Remember? 3 days before I had to do that change order. They sent me an RFI request that they had sent for that 3 days. I only had 3 days to do the job, but they didn't send me the paperwork. Anyway, what else we got here? Warsaga, how do you get into estimating and project managing? Probably school has that. I mean, estimating school, project management school, union. Otherwise, you got to hit the street and learn it yourself. I don't think there's anywhere you're really going to go besides, again, you can take classes in estimating. I'm sure there's online courses. Go to upstrive.com. Maybe check them out as a resource. They used to sponsor the channel. Joist is a great app for contractors. Haven't heard of Joist. I'll have to check that out for sure.
Joist is a good entry level one. I started that. With that. It's pretty good. But
how much is SimPro, Zach, monthly?
It starts off at $119 a month.
Okay, it's not too bad. It seems like it's doing a lot, and it's integrated. There's a couple of Service Titan is integrated with a couple of catalogs as well. That's what you're paying for, really, because they got to, they're getting, that's big money to try to integrate stuff like that. That's probably why. But 119, and how many users do you get it with that?
Well, you can have unlimited on Enterprise, and then they have mobile. You pay $19 per person.
Per person. Okay. It's not too bad as an
Yeah.
entry. All right. And Joe, you're back. I used Service Titan at my previous job, found presenting quotes was a mess, sloppy, unprofessional. Service Titan, I'd give it a 3 out of 10, to be honest with you. Juan in New York, good to see you, my friend. All right. Well, we've gone for quite a bit. Anybody have any other questions? Zach, anything else going on that maybe we can answer or help you with?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is when you guys, because I would love to hear more about how you bid things.
Sure.
Do you do it kind of like Mr. Electric? Is
It's
that
funny you said
kind of
Mr.
what I'm
Electric.
hearing?
Mr.
That's kind of
Electric
what
reached out to me. I said, dude, you guys sponsor the channel. All my 70% of our subscribers are electricians that want to be electrical contractors or electric contractors. Sorry, Mr. Electrician. I thought you meant, I'm thinking Mr. Sparky. Sorry. Mr. Electrician.
Oh, yeah.
Who's Mr. Electrician? Is he a YouTuber?
No, it's Mr. like the company, the franchise, Mr. Electric.
Is it Mr.
around,
Electric or Mr. Sparky that I'm thinking of now?
Mr. Electric.
It's the light bulb with a little guy character. Let me go.
It's everywhere. If you just type Mr. Electric, it's normally in every area. Basically, it's like a McDonald's of electricians, and they have flat rate prices for everything when you go in your area, and everything's called straightforward pricing.
Interesting.
No,
I don't think I've heard of Mr. Electric. So they're a franchise.
Yeah, it's kind of, but it's based out of just residential service work.
I have seen them. I saw the truck now, and I've seen a few of them around in LA.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you basically how I, pretty much in a nutshell, how I do my pricing. It's super simple, and it's all based really on experience at the end of the day, because somebody has to have the experience. That guy that's doing the estimating, by the way, that's sitting behind the counter, what field experience does he have? I would argue he has 0 to none. He's not an electrician. He got into estimating. He learned that you take a blueprint, right? You take this blueprint. He knows to mark the boxes, and then he knows to take his thing and say, well, he knows it's number 12 or whatever it is. And he goes from here, he gets the distance and all that. So I would argue that experience is everything. If I tell you how long is it going to take you on average to change a 200 amp overhead flush mount panel? Take the 100 amp out, put in the 200 amp, do your riser, do your grounding, do your bonding, you do your labeling, and maybe doing patching if your company does patching. Well, you would say, I've done 100 of them, a day and a half finished with the patching. About right? Single story. Mm-hmm. You're definitely doing the panel in and out one day, and then you're going to come back for patching. Mm-hmm. Okay, how much would you charge, Zach, for a panel upgrade in Hawaii?
Yeah, if it was just overhead, nothing, probably around $7,000.
Brad, I want to move to Hawaii. Okay.
Yeah, you do. It's
$7,000
out there.
It's fine. Don't get me wrong. We're up to about 4,500 now. So $7,000 is a good number. Trust me, if you can get it. But okay, so stop for a second. What do you think SimPro would have told you to do that? If you just talk about, cataloging, what would it have told you to do that?
Well, I would put it in as $7,000. So like I can put whatever.
But you would. But let's say you knew nothing about it, and I picked up SimPro for the first time, but I know. So I would put a 200 amp panel in SimPro. I would put the riser, the wire, the overhead, and what do you think it would pop out? It's not going to pop out 7,000. I'll tell you that.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, the software program is just off of your, like you're saying. I agree with you. It's off of your experience and you going out and doing it. So the initial part of it is the investment.
But there you go.
I get what you're asking me.
Yeah, you got 7,000 because of the value, and you know that job goes for 7,000 per se, correct? Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. If you go into a job and you're bidding it, there's so many aspects of it in a little ways. But I basically look at it and go, if I was to do it regularly, by the way, we're $1,800 a day electrician for 2-man crew. Okay, that's what we charge, brick and mortar. So I know that's $2,700 labor. And then let's be honest, on a panel with upgrade 2-aught wire, what are we at? About 650? Are we at 700 about for panel? Maybe. 200 now for the panel. It used to be 150 plus breakers. We're not doing arc fault because we're not, rewiring the house. So let's just say we're at 800 on material. So my labor, if I was doing it the way I normally would, just telling you how I bid, I would be at 2,700 labor, and then I would have another 750 in parts. So I'd be at 3,490, 3,690, 3,890. But you and I both know that we're not going to do that. We're going to be, but on every other job that is not a panel upgrade or that situation, that's what I do. I go in there and say, my guys can take care of this job, even a $750,000 commercial job. We sit down, all of us sit down at the table. Rudy, underground. Art, TI or what, I get my guys. We sit, all my journeymen that are going to be on that project. We sit down and we go, experience. Look at this, look at this, look at this. We've already got everything from the engineer. We already got everything from the utilities. I've already got my switchgear costs. And then how do I do my material? We can talk about it a little bit later because, that gets a little bit difficult. You got to be careful. And then we just start with the labor. We go, let's pick this room. We got our highlighters. So I go really fast. So, but this is a $750,000 project. I'm not doing that unless I get over probably 50,000. Under 50,000, I'm bidding it myself. I don't even need my guys. I basically know how to do that. And then that's how we're doing it. So they'll come in and so my $750,000 job is the same way. Phase 1, phase 2, this room, that room, mixed use. We do a lot of mixed use. Once we figure out how much a unit's going to be average, we're multiplying that by 31. That's the units. Then we're going floor to floor to floor to subfeed. So that's how we're breaking it out. All of it's broken down, by the way. First, we're talking about labor. So we all agree that this job is going to be 398 days. That's including attrition, holiday, after hours pay. We're adding that in because I add time in for that. I say, look, we're going to get 4 emergency calls. On this job, we're going to get 20 days where we're going to have to work weekends, after hours, night, because we got to accommodate whatever it is. I'm giving you the fast version, but then we'll take our $1,800 times that 396 days. That's how we get our labor. We're done. Then the only thing we can't care about after that is, yes, our material list. I'm not putting it in a program like you. I have a price sheet that attaches and codes to every single page and every single room of that plan. They're all color coded with highlights, super fast and simple. And then I'm sending that into 3 of my wholesale houses, exact same sheet. And then I ask them for their price breakdown per part and then their totals. And then I get them all. And sometimes I'll get something that's 20 on a $750,000 job. I'll get one that'll be 12,000, 14,000 difference in parts. Generally, they're within $5,000, believe it or not. They're not that far off. And then I'll look at the ones that are more than 10,000, 15. I'll take the 3 averages. I'll base my cost on the 3 averages. And that's, again, where I put my dollar amount. I don't put a percentage. In some cases, I do. I shouldn't say that. On a 750,000, because I have 128,000 in parts, yes, I put a percentage because I have to charge industry average. But anything below the 50,000 is usually a dollar amount. And the reason I told you that, if I have $1,500 in parts, I'm not going to charge $300 in profit. I'm going to charge another $500. Another $600, whatever that dollar amount
Well,
is.
if you had $1,500 in parts, a 50% profit would be $3,000. So you double it. That's
yeah. On 1,500, you can't put 50% profit. On
I
1,500,
do.
I'm putting $500.
No, I do. No, I go strictly percentages. I do everything straight up.
50% on material.
100%.
Okay, and what's the biggest job you've won doing that dollar amount?
The biggest job I've won? Let's see here.
Dollar amount job. $100,000 job?
No, well, like 22,000.
Okay.
I've done 20.
I can promise you, if you put 50% profit, you're not going to win a single job over 50 grand. I don't know, Brad, if you would agree. I can't put 50% profit.
50% gross margins on everything I do.
Yeah. I mean,
because if
you know how tight these markets, I mean, your 50% is a great profit margin on material. I'm not talking about gross margin of the job itself. Then you could be probably the same as somebody else. But if I put 50% on a $12,000 in material, well, 12,000 in material, yeah, no, I usually would put $6,000. Hold on a second. Let me think about this for 2 seconds, what we're talking about. On 1,500, no, I can't go to 3,000. On 12 grand, no, I still can't do that. It still wouldn't be $6,000, I don't think, on material. It would probably be more like 3,500 to 4,000, but I don't think I can get to 6,000 and win the bid. Because a 12,000 material job is going to be about a $75,000 job. Correct?
Yeah, I always do. I don't waver on my percentages. So like
you're getting it. If you've proven it for yourself, do it. So for example, I did that last job, like I told you, that 750, we have to rebid it because margins have obviously come down and my competition's pretty steep. You're going to have contractors that only put 10 or 20% when your material's $100,000 and something.
Right. And I that's the thing is, like, that's how I weed out people. And I'm able to, because my margins and everything,
Yeah.
So
Again,
like I make profit on both things.
I do 100% if it's under, you know, $600. I might do 100%, maybe not even 600, but like your GFIs, like we talked about, at $15. Yeah, I'm charging $79 to put a GFI in. Do the math; it takes 15 minutes. But not 79, 179. Sorry, but those things, yeah, I'm 100%ing them. But once you get to a big dollar amount, you can't. I mean, to put 50%, that's pretty amazing, because now your labor is 380,000, and then you have 20,000 in parts. You make that 40,000. Good for you. I can't do that.
That's
I
where
can't win a single bid.
That's where service is profitable. Because because nobody wants to do it. What's that?
Joe agrees.
No, when I do. 100%. No, but what I'm saying is when I do service work, that's how, because nobody wants to touch it. That's the secret.
Yeah, service for sure.
So service work, that's where you can be profitable. So like I did a light pole. It was at U-Haul, and the job cost me like $3,000, and with material and everything, and I charged them $12,000. And
it's not bad.
It took me a day.
Yeah, but you're going to get those. But those
and
are not the norm. I don't think those are the norm.
Right. Well, no, it can be the norm if that's what you sell it for.
Don't get me wrong. You're in a totally different market than I'm familiar with as well.
No, I see what you're saying though. Like when you do large projects, your profit margin, because then it's more competitive. But everybody's not searching to get jobs that are $10,000 to $50,000. Normally, bigger electrical contractors just don't touch it because they say it's a waste of time. And that's my niche, and that's why I'm able to get so much work, is because nobody wants to do it.
Right.
So that's basically what I've been able to put my foot in, because the bigger electrical contractors, even if you do sell at $12,000 and it costs them $3,000, they don't have the time to do all that when they're doing $1 million projects.
Yeah, that's a good niche to get
into. Yeah. So that's. But I would love to sit down and talk to you about how you do everything.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I just do it in a way that, like I said, I want you to have more time than anything else, and trust me, you'll make money, because the money really, again, I say you're the Jeff Bezos of your company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And your company needs to make money. Those are the two that you get the money, because your company makes money. Anything left over is going to be a draw into your account at the end of the year, or you're just going to keep building the bank account, which I get it. So the way I do it, again, on my pricing and everything, is a system that I am allowed to step out. So there's another thing we didn't talk about, Mac. You're doing everything because you're wearing all the hats. So I get it. You got full control. You can feel that. You can adjust that on the fly. But now when you're now stepping out of the business, and now you want to own the business more than be in the business every day, which I think should be a goal for everybody, you got to start getting a system. Like I said, it's the McDonald's thing where you're flipping those burgers, where now that you're stepped off, you have time to do whatever you want to do. You want to still stay in the business. I do. I'm working in my brick and mortar every day for an hour or two every day, but I'm not doing the day-to-day operation. So I have to come up with a system that I know is 100% strictly based on my guys are working an hour, quote unquote. I know how much I'm making. That's the point. So if my guys aren't working a full hour, and by the way, I have 3 crews working. So not only am I making this money off, I have 2-man teams. That's how we operate. I do almost 99% of everything 2-man teams. I don't care if it's going and just putting in 3 ceiling fans. Yeah, one guy could do that. Nope, I'd rather send 2 guys, get it done in twice as fast the time, and then we go on to the next service call. It's just how we operate.
Mm-hmm.
When I was there too. I mean, you're 33% more efficient when you're a 2-man crew. You know it, and I know it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I want to be where you are now. So
yeah, here's the kicker though too. You make sure that you incentivize them so that it's not like if they don't work hard, they don't get paid. By the way, I'm gonna say work hard. If they work smart, don't tell me 3 hours for 3 ceiling fans, because then I didn't make money. That means you're not going to make your bonuses and money. So everything I do also is tied in on incentives with my guys as well. Gate motors, patios, super profitable. We bake their profit right in, but they have to finish the job in a day. My guys have gotten so good that they'll do it in half a day, and guess what they get to do? Go home, because they still make their money. What do I care?
Right.
It's not my money out of my pocket. It's the client's pocket. It's not that I'm ripping the client off, by the way. There's a fair market value for a panel. You charge $7,000 for a panel. And, flip side, Zach, never, ever, ever do I tell them hourly. I charge only by the fixed contract price. Never tell them hourly. And when they ask, how long do you think it'll take? If it's 1 hour, 2 hours, it'll take, hopefully we'll be done before the day's done. or it'll be half a day or less. I'll be vague as possible. The last thing I want them to do is look at their calculator or their phone and say, I paid $1,000 for 3 hours. That guy charged me $333. You know, I want them to know that when this job is done, that's the amount we agreed on. I'm going to promise it gets done. Plus, for someone like you and the new guys starting out, you're going to take phone calls. You're going to have to. And so if you charge by the hour, I just did a video on it because I hired someone.
You became a big fan of mine because I'm totally, I think it's just absolutely crazy that the industry charges hourly. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life.
And you know, you're going to become quote unquote rich by doing fixed contract price. You're not going to become rich hourly because now you tied your time to your money. Never do that. And again, because some jobs just work out and you go, hell yeah. Some jobs don't. But you know, and I know with your experience, our experience, all of us, usually they'll be better than they'll be worse.
Or cost plus. I hate that. That's so stupid when people do that. Yeah,
absolutely. Well, listen, Brad signed off. We've been on for an hour and 30 minutes. I'd love to talk to you more about that. Listen, you're a member of the channel. Reach out for me, you know, offside. I'll do a quick 10, 15-minute call with you. Or if there's more, you can obviously do coaching. I'd rather have you spend money on the marketing course because I think that's going to help you level up big time. Take a look at the videos. You'll see some of it even before you find the course. It'll tell you.
I've seen them all. I've seen them all. I saw your systems too. I watched your video where you had your systems that you're talking about.
All I'm trying to do is don't make the mistakes I made, but definitely improve on anything I've done because that's what it's about. You have to tailor it to what is going to work for you, especially in Hawaii, which is crazier market than probably even California.
I went ahead and I spent, there was another coaching company where I spent it was like $3,000 a month on, but then it was a waste of money.
Wow. What did they teach you? Or what was it?
Well, no, it was basically, they talked about the fixed rate pricing because I didn't know. And then it wasn't like one-on-one coaching though. And so they would teach you a lot about the marketing systems and stuff like that. But then when it came down to the nitty gritty of learning your business, it was like in group classes, they would never actually dive in. And that's why I left. Too much money.
No, I will spill the beans. Brad's done plenty of them. I'll tell you anything and everything. And it's based on what you want to talk about. And really it's just because remember, it's not my only business too. I've been in the corporate world. Actually, my old company, I'm going to say it right now. It's not official yet, but I'm going to say it. So I used to own onlinetires.com, the second largest tire seller on the internet. And so they just became a sponsor of the channel because service vans need tires. So I'm going to get a big discount for us if you order it through my old company. How crazy is that, right? So I bring all that experience into what I do here. But truth is, I mean, the camera is on. I mean, you can tell me you're a fake robot. Well, tell me a secret word and I'll say it right. Like proof is in the pudding per se. So if I can do this, I think you guys are going to be just fine listening to me. I'm not saying take everything without a grain of salt, but you guys are going to be fine. You guys are way ahead of where I was when I started.
Your ROI is my biggest thing. So if I spend, $60,000 a year in coaching, I want to see tenfold on that. So I'd want to see $600,000 in sales. You know what I mean? And at least 10. Yeah. And so that was my.
How much do you think you spent on the channel?
All on them is probably.
Brad, I was going to say, Brad, how much have you?
Brad.
Brad's one of my longest subscribers, and like I said, you've done the marketing, you've done the paperwork, so we got about 800-900 there.
Yep.
And personally, you only coached once or twice. Personally, you coached once or twice. I know you did coaching with the old company.
Yep.
So you're in at about $1,400.
About that, yeah.
Value. If I had to put a value on it.
Mm-hmm.
Tenfold at least. I mean, everything. The good thing that you do too, and I can speak personally too, is anything. Jeff's very good at weeding out doubts and then re-emphasizing things that are already right. So he does help me with my mental state for the things that I'm freaking out about. He's like, yeah, you're actually doing it right. So just calm down.
That's a lot of it too. Like I said, 60% price too low. And when I ask him why, well, that's what everybody else charges. Who cares? What do you own a house? Do you have a mortgage? Yeah, you're automatically going to price higher than anybody else that doesn't have a mortgage. Like, who cares? You know what I mean? Like, or sorry, you know, do you have a warehouse? No. Then why are you charging like you do, like you should make money? Don't get me wrong. I tell you the system, but you're charging that extra $40 an hour. And that's why you're only getting 3 out of 10 sales. What I also want to do, Zach, is I tell everybody, you should be selling 7 or 8 out of 10. You should not be selling 8, 9 or 10 every single time. And you shouldn't be selling 1 through 5 every time. There's reasons for that. Right now, one of the reasons why you're selling 8s, 9s, and 10s is either you have a heartbeat and you can do electrical work. Would you agree? Workers are, I mean, we're like golden unicorns.
Dinosaurs. Yeah.
So don't get all happy and think you're doing something right, because if you miss it by $10 an hour, you do the math. That's $400 a week. Now, it doesn't mean you didn't make money. You just didn't make $400 that you should have, or vice versa. If you're only selling 1 through 6, that might not mean that you're priced too high. It might be your closing. It might be your 2 reasons, right, Brad, that people say no. One of them, I'll give it away. You got Satan written on your forehead, maybe. If that's not the reason, I've got number 2, 3, and 4. I give you the 4 reasons why people say no, so that we can help you get back up to 7 and 8 is your sweet spot. No matter what. I don't sell 10 out of 10 when I'm going to cold calls. Of course, I sell 10 out of 10 when I'm doing referrals. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Yelp customers. We're talking about word of mouth, but more of just somebody picked up a flyer or found you on Google. Those are just cold calls. Those are not guarantees of anything. You should be selling 7 or 8 max. 7 is your golden number. I don't care if you do 6 and you got a lot of work, but you want to be at 6, 7, 8. 7 or 8 on an average, and I'll tell you why to do that. How are you going to be able to do that? So we want to analyze why you're either here or here, so that when the recession hits, you know how to adjust those numbers. You know that you're not living in the unicorn state. And trust me, some people are, because they yell at me. I did coaching and I'm charging $20 more an hour than you told me to, but you didn't know why you were charging $20 more. The only reason you're getting it is because you have a heartbeat. Do you see what I'm saying? That's not building a business. That's not building a model. That's just happy-go-lucky. Tomorrow, when the economy changes, you're not going to know what to bid or change. Not you. I'm telling about the person that told me, he was pissed off. He's the only person I got that was mad at me. I said I'd give you a refund, but I won't, because I asked you how you bill, and when in this situation, and if it's cloudy today, and if it's a sunny sky, if there's a Mercedes in the driveway, I gave him a system, and then I said you're allowed to sell more, but now you know why at the minimum and where you need to plug it in. And so anyway, it was an interesting call. All right, you guys, I'm done. I'm tapped out.
Right.
Are we all set to go?
Yep. Yeah, thank you.
All right, guys. I appreciate you guys. If you're watching on the replay, great to meet you, Zach. Yeah, reach out, man. I'll have a conversation with you anytime.
I left my email in the comments. I actually have a GC that lives on the island I can hook you up with. So just look in the comments real quick and shoot me an email. I'll give you some info.
Very cool.
Okay, let's see. Where's the...
Sorry, Jeff. Don't mean to hold you up.
No worries. Joe,
where's it at in the comments?
Well, we have our own chat.
Private chat. If you look,
we have our own chat, and then
on the right side, do you see a private chat? Tell them where it is, because I mean it's on the right side more.
Yeah, if you're looking down, ours is just the chat, and then you open that up. You see chat on the left and comments on the right. Comments are general comments, and chat is our own private chat.
Oh, got you. I don't. Oh, GC. Oh, should I just put my email in there?
No,
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, there you go, brother.
Okay, sweet. Got it.
Very cool. And that's another thing about this channel. You know how many people have found either helpers, workers. Lewis tapped out a long time ago, but he's working for someone. But sometimes we'll have other people in the Bay Area that'll be like, "Oh man, Lewis, I'm hiring, or come work for me," or whatever the case may be, or to find jobs. It's been pretty cool. All right, guys.
Sweet.
Hey, I appreciate all of you guys. Thank you so much. Can't wait to hear a lot of good news for the next one. We'll see you in a month.
All right.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Nice meeting you, Zach.
You too.